on some very interesting breaking news in South Africa. Majority of people might not know this, might not understand what's happening with this whole update about pizza shops, about foreigners, about street vendors. Apparently, the government of Panyaza in Gauteng is a premier. So he is saying that, and I'm going to allow you an opportunity to listen to him. But I want you to understand something before I play to you his explanation. He is explaining the reason why they're shutting down all street vendors who are selling outside of schools. He's going to be explaining that. He's going to be explaining that, and I want you to listen to understand, because you didn't predict this, right? When you were marching against foreigners, poisonous food, you didn't predict that even our own people, their businesses are going to be shut down, our own local South Africans. But of course, safety first. Safety first, safety first. Listen to this.
With that said as well, how then do you deal with the hawkers? We've just spoken now about the decision that has been taken by the Gauteng Education Department when it comes to the selling of food in and around schools, suspending those or banning those for now. Do you know how long that is going to be in place for? And at which point do you say, now let's reintegrate the hawkers back into the system? But what happens to their livelihoods in the meantime?
Well, it's safety first. You don't want to regret when children pass on. Reality is that 80% of the children, 441 of them, 80% was around school premises. So you can't ignore those statistics that are there. But at the same time, you have to balance with livelihood of people that are selling. I mean, I'm a product of that. My parents were selling outside the school premises. So when the Department of Education made this proposal, I said to them, consult the sector, ensure that even if you've passed legislation, consult the sector, they can assist us to develop a mechanism that can manage that situation on our behalf. Because we are not there, we can't police them, we can't manage who's selling them. They know who's selling, they know who's new, who's old, and they can be in a position to identify people that are selling things that are not right. So we are putting systems to go and consult the sector between now and this week. And
but the ban is already in place.
As I said, it's safety first. What we do, you have to protect the children first and then deal with the situation that...
So the ban has been put in place without the consultation?
I suspect purely because on the basis of the number of deaths and the number of sicknesses that people have. People felt that let's have a safety first and protect our children, and then go back, consult the sector, and the sector will give an input. It's very important that you consult the sector. But at the same time, lives come once. You don't want to risk the lives of your children. And if you check the age group, it's between 6 and 9. These are children that you need to protect, and you need to ensure that they're not harmed or they're not exposed to things that harm them. And at the time the Department of Education took that decision, unfortunately, they didn't know the source, and they just felt that let's protect the institution, and then we'll be in a position to clear areas of deep concern.
Yeah. So does this mean like a tuck shop that is opposite a school would no longer be allowed to operate? How does it work?
I don't have the logistics. That is why I said let's go and meet with the sector. I've asked the minister, the MEC responsible for education, and the MEC responsible for economic development. Let's go and meet the sector and ensure that the sector is on board. They are parents as well. They've got children as well, and they know we are facing a serious danger here where 23 of our children have died. We can't just say it's business as usual. There needs to be an intervention, and this intervention must also ensure that it protects the livelihoods of those that are products of this thing. As I said, my parents were selling outside the school. That is why I'm here now. So I can't close another child that needs to benefit out of this process. But we are confronted with a situation where children are dying, and majority of those children that have stomach aches, that are vomiting and having this stomach ache around the schooling environment. So protect the schooling environment first, and then deal with the consequences of some of the areas that we need to accommodate. But I'm very sympathetic to those people. I'm one person that believes the hawkers need to be protected. The hawkers need our support, and the hawkers need to be developed so that they move away from being hawkers to be appropriate people that can sell products.
Yeah, because they're also part of a society, unfortunately, that doesn't create enough jobs. The question that we're running this morning, we're asking our viewers, do they believe that Gauteng government's ban on the sale of food in and around schools will stop the poisoning incidents? And look at that overwhelming majority there, Premier. 69% say no, it won't work. So there's a lack of confidence already in this particular idea?
As I said, it's safety first. You are damned if you do it, you are damned if you don't. You've got 441 children that have stomach aches, and of the 441, 80% are around the school premises. What do you do at it? You fold your arms and close your eyes and say, this is how it should happen. It can't be.
Yeah.
We need to protect our children. And a society that does not protect its own children doesn't deserve to be a society. So it might be a harsh decision, but was very important, especially when we've lost 23 lives already, that we don't have to increase those lives. And whose child must pass on for us to understand that this is a serious situation. So I really believe that we need to have the combination of the two. Indeed, safety first, but at the same time, ensure that the sector is consulted, the sector is supported, and the sector's voice is heard. Don't close your ears from listening to this particular sector.
Yeah.
And to me, as I said, it's a crucial sector. There are many people that are in universities today purely because they are funded by that sector. And you can't just close it down the way we've done. So we just need to go and consult and present an alternative. As I said, they are parents themselves, and they know the dangers that we are facing now, and they need to assist us to eliminate those dangers.
Okay.
I am really right. Safety first. Safety first, I agree with him. Of course, I don't disagree with anything he's saying. And I just feel vindicated because I've always said this. Always said it. Once you go and protest, spaza shops must close, spaza shop must be inspected. Even our own people, they are going to suffer the pain because majority of them, they're not following the laws. Look now. Look now. Our mothers who sell outside of schools. Panyaza is saying that safety first, safety first. They need to shut down their businesses too. So it is what it is. You listen to Mr. Panyaza. Of course, safety first, because now we don't know what's happening. We still don't know who is really killing these kids. Is it something they eat inside the schools? Is it something they eat from these outside street vendors, our own people who are selling outside? Is it something they eat in their own communities, in the spaza shops of foreigners? What is it? Is it a bigger agenda? Is there someone killing kids for rituals? What is happening? Is there people involved politically to benefit for their political agendas? What is it? We still don't know. We can only predict the future of this. What's going to happen is that many people's businesses are going to be shut down because they're going to be inspected and they're going to be found that they're not complying with the law, with the bylaws, and they're going to be shut down, whether foreigners or our own people. You must expect that to be happening. Another thing is that if these businesses are stopped and really it is them that are poisoning the kids, we need to also predict that the kids are not going to be dying. They're going to stop dying because we don't want kids dying. So kids are going to stop dying, businesses are going to shut down, people are going to lose money, people are going to continue joining the unemployment, they won't have an extra hassle. We must also be aware of that because that's something that's going to be happening. And if you can't predict that by now, I don't know how you think. But it is what it is. Thank you very much.